Alright folks, let's dive deep into the nitty-gritty of one of Helldivers 2's most elusive weapons, the Scorcher. Tucked away in the depths of the Helldivers mobilized war bond, right there on page 10, lies this monster of a weapon just itching to be freed from its chains. The price, a whopping 1,275 medals. Yeah, you heard that right, but once you've grinded your way to it, you quickly realize why this baby was locked behind such a Herculean effort. Welcome back to Insightful Gaming, folks. Today, I'm diving deep into the Scorcher, giving you the full scoop on how to wield this beast like a pro. Stick around till the end, because I've got a game-changing tip that I bet you didn't know. As always, please leave me a like if you got any value out of the video, and subscribe for more Helldivers content. Scorcher dishes out a solid 100 damage and comes with a magazine capacity of 15 bullets, totaling 6 mags. It's got a recoil of 20, which gives it a bit of an upward dance when you fire, but honestly, it's nothing you can't handle. And with a fire rate of 250, it spits out rounds faster than you'd expect from a semi-auto. So, make those shots count. Now, while it might only have light armor penetration on paper, thanks to its explosive kick, it punches way above its weight class against armored baddies. And yeah, it's an energy weapon, launching these wicked cool plasma bolts that go boom upon impact. Just a friendly heads up, don't hug the explosions too closely, or you'll get a taste of your own medicine. As for customizing this powerhouse, it's pretty straightforward. You've got your standard issue flashlight, and that's about it. No bells and whistles here, just raw plasma blasting power. And if you're curious about what it looks like from the shooter's perspective, well, it's as badass as you'd imagine. So, how does this bad boy hold up in the heat of battle? Let me tell you, it's nothing short of spectacular. The Scorcher transforms every shot into a mini fireworks show, with each impact causing little explosions that pack a serious punch. It's like having a grenade launcher at your fingertips, minus the ability to close nests. But that's hardly a deal breaker. Now, while it's pretty nifty at mowing down swarms of unarmored enemies, where this weapon truly comes into its own is against the tougher, armored adversaries. Thanks to its explosive edge, even if you're just hitting shields or armor, you're still doling out damage. This is a game changer when you're up against Helldivers 2's roster of nasties like troopers, raiders, commissars, and berserkers. A few well-placed shots can result in instant kills, often wiping out several targets with the blast radius alone. And let's talk about those pesky walkers and shielded automatons, shall we? Normally, these foes can be a real headache, especially those shielded automatons. You know what I'm talking about. But with the Scorcher, you can blast through their defenses without breaking a sweat. Hulks, on the other hand, can be a bit more stubborn, especially when you're facing them head-on. Their chests seem almost impervious to the Scorcher's wrath. But a strategic flank can turn the tables, allowing those explosive hits to demolish them from behind or the side, proving way more effective. When it comes to tanks, the Scorcher's explosive traits can be a godsend. Targeting their heads can take down a tank eventually. Sure, using stratagems might be more efficient for tank demolition, but in those clutch moments when your stratagems are on cooldown, knowing you've got the Scorcher as a fallback is immensely reassuring. And don't get me started on turrets, the bane of our existence. These fortified nightmares usually require precision and patience, but the Scorcher adds a little wiggle room. Aim for the edge of their armor and let the splash damage do the rest. The explosions have a knack for finding those vulnerabilities, making the Scorcher an indispensable tool for turret troubles. Alright, let's shift gears and dive into how this beast fares against the bugs. You know? Those creepy crawlies that ambush you the second your boots hit the ground on a mission. Dealing with scavengers can get pretty intense, especially when they decide to throw a party and you're the guest of honor. You'll run into these guys across all difficulty levels, and while your bullets do make short work of them, they're not exactly top of the hit list. Though, ignore them at your peril because they can quickly turn the tide against you. Moving on to warriors and hunters, these guys are practically a walk in the park when you've got the Scorcher in hand. A little aim at their noggins and bam, down they go in just a few shots. However, stalkers? Now, they're a whole different ballgame. These sneaky pests can make your life miserable if they get up close and personal. But, lucky for us, the Scorcher boasts some serious reach, allowing you to take out a stalker from a comfortable distance. Spot one, mark it immediately. On PC, you hit Q to do so. And hey, PS5 squad, let me know in comments the button for PS5. A couple of well-aimed shots later, and that stalker is history. Now, on to my personal favourites, the bile spewers. Ah, the joy of Helldive difficulty, where these lovelies like to come at you in groups. But guess what? The Scorcher makes quick work of them too. Target their glowing green guts, or go for a headshot. Either way, a few strategic blasts and they're done for. Now, let's talk about those pesky brood commanders. Yeah, you know the ones. They can really grind your gears. If you want to drop them fast with your Scorcher, aim for the legs. It's like their Achilles heel, few shots there, and they're hitting the dirt quicker than you can say bug splat. Sure, you could go for the dramatic headshot, and yeah, it'll get the job done eventually, but at the cost of chewing through your ammo. Last but not least, the Bile Titans. These behemoths don't really feel the heat from the Scorcher, except maybe on their green bellies, but let's be real, you're better off saving your ammo. Against a Bile Titan, you're going to want to call in the big guns, so whip out those offensive stratagems instead. Alright team, we've dissected how this powerhouse of a weapon stacks up against every critter and bot out there. Now, let's dive into some pro tips and tricks for wielding the Scorcher without accidentally turning yourself into toast. One major hiccup with this beast is its appetite for ammo, especially when you've got a swarm of bugs cozying up in melee range. Trust me, the last thing you want is to self-destruct because of its enthusiastic blast radius. Been there, done that, and got the respawn screen to prove it more times than I care to admit. But hey, that's pretty much the only downside, so let's tackle how to play it smart. My top tip? Pair it with the Redeemer as your sidekick. Think of it as the Knight SMG's less jarring cousin. Yeah, it guzzles ammo like there's no tomorrow and it's no long-range sniper, but that's why they call it a secondary. It's a lifesaver for blasting those close-quarters bugs to kingdom come without the self-sabotage. And pro move, switch it to semi-auto to keep the ammo burn on a leash. This way, you get to clear out those pesky mobs without the Scorcher's pyrotechnics taking you out. Now, onto the stratagems that are insane with the Scorcher. Top of the list, the Guard Dog Rover. This bad boy brings a laser rifle to the party, slicing through enemies while you keep the boomstick for the long shots. Sure, it's got a bit of a trigger-happy attitude that might catch your buddies off guard, but with some solid team chat, you'll be golden. The Rover is a step up from the Guard Dog, with less downtime and a beefier bite. Plus, upgrading it with the Handkart's ship module means more laser fun time and less waiting around. And when you're up to your neck in bugs, bring out the flamethrower. Why? Because it turns everything into a barbecue. That's why. It's the perfect dance partner for the Scorcher, keeping those grabby melee fiends at bay while you pick off the crowd pleasers. Charges. More like charred remains. Seriously, I went up against a trio of them, and it was like swatting flies with a flamethrower. Absolute must-have for bug hunts. For those metal-munching automatons, swap in the anti-material rifle or an autocannon. You want range and punch when fighting against the automatons. It's all about keeping those robots in your sights and out of your personal bubble when you're rocking a Scorcher. So there you have it, a survival guide for thriving with the Scorcher. And here's that bonus nugget I promised. A little trick to make your Scorcher even more lethal. You can take out the spore spewer from a distance with your Scorcher. Spot one in the wild, start laying down fire, and watch as the explosive damage does the heavy lifting. Once it hits the dirt, boom, objective completed. Keep these tactics in your back pocket, and you'll be turning the battlefield into your own explosive playground. But hey, the most important rule? Play with what you love and what supports your team. The setups I've shared today are killer in the game's current universe. And for those new around here, I do this for the kicks. So hit me up in the comments with any loadouts you're curious about. Drop a like if you found this helpful or entertaining, and don't forget to subscribe for more Helldivers action. Have an awesome week ahead.